Uganda is grappling with significant impacts of climate change, including changing weather patterns, declining water levels, and increased frequency of extreme weather events such as floods and droughts. These challenges have severe socioeconomic impacts, leaving communities highly vulnerable. Today, at the Commonwealth Resort Munyonyo in Kampala, various stakeholders in disaster and climate risk management, including government officials, international organizations like the Red Cross Society and the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, gathered to address these pressing issues. They convened for the second national dialogue on anticipatory action under the theme Navigating Uncertainty, Disaster and Climate Risk Financing. Honorable Beatrice Anywar Atim, the Minister for State for Environment, emphasized the need for collective commitment and concerted efforts from all stakeholders to enhance disaster anticipation and risk management across the nation. She highlighted that effective disaster response requires tightened collaboration, making it easier to respond swiftly and effectively.
It is now quite clear that one sector cannot handle it all. It needs intervention of many. You have always witnessed this, that once we have any disaster, for example, the landslides, you find that the Minister of Disaster rushes there, the Minister of Water goes there, the Minister of Works goes there, you find the Red Cross quickly going in there, you find the World Food Program already rushing there. You know, this is a manifestation that really we are working together. We need to tighten this collaboration so that it is easy for us to respond.
Despite the government efforts to ensure safety and security, many people continue to return to disaster-prone areas, driven by strong attachments to their homes. The minister called for increased sensitization among the masses to mitigate this trend and enhance community resilience.
It's good that at least Ugandans know that as government, through my ministry and meteorology department, we give early warnings. But there are more than that. First, there are people who are attached, culturally attached to their places. Uganda, as you know, people are attached to their area. To move them away, for instance, government tried to move people from Bududa to Kiradongo sometimes back. They came back. There's also fear of losing their land. They said, the more if I go away, now my little land, I'm going to lose it. And then the fear of going to unknown, starting up like in different communities. You are not used to your neighbors, you don't know them. So it is the mindset of our people that we are even working on. And maybe that's why one thing which makes sense for this dialogue, that our people need to be sensitized. People need to be encouraged. People need to be given confidence. And people need to be given the warning, the risk they are in.
Dr. Brian Kanahe, Director Disaster Response Management at the Uganda Cross Society, stressed the importance of utilizing the lead time between disaster detection and response. He noted that early warning messages during this period could provide critical opportunities to mitigate impacts.
They can get early warning messages whether to relocate or stay. They can be given water purification tablets. They can be given health and dignity kits during that period. And today it is about how this can best happen, but also how resources can be allocated and which institutions are best positioned to do this.
Additionally, Honorable Sarah Pendi, chairperson of the Uganda Women Parliamentary Association, called for urgent action in addressing these challenges.
We are looking at people cutting trees. We are seeing people, destroying the riverbanks. We are seeing people living so close even to the riverbanks, and yet we have a clear policy that people should be 200 meters away. So it's time for government to really get into action. Walk the talk and stop, let's walk the talk and stop merely talking and acting once we have disasters.
The Food and Agriculture Organization country representative, Antonio Corrido, underscored the direct and indirect impacts of climate change on agri-food systems. He emphasized the necessity of supporting countries in adapting and mitigating climate change, including the need for systems to ensure agriculture and food security.
We need systems in place, systems that can allow us to predict early, but also systems that allow us to take early actions to protect lives, to protect livelihoods, but also to preserve the environment. So the role of agriculture sector, particularly in Uganda, and consider that Uganda is a food basket of the region, is to understand what tools, what systems we put in place to ensure that agriculture sector continues to produce sufficient food to everyone.
As Uganda continues to navigate the uncertainties of climate change, the collective efforts and collaborative strategies discussed today are crucial steps towards building a more resilient and sustainable future. Nora Sende for UCTV News.